what is going on here? I mean, seriously, Chris Wray is coming to talk about the elevated threat to the United States, and Clay Higgins is talking crazy.
So, on one hand, I would love if Republicans would stop talking about January 6th. It's not a positive issue for us. It's not something we're running on. So, you know, bad on him for that. But on the other, the FBI and DOJ has said out loud and has never corrected that white supremacy is the #1 domestic terrorism threat that we face. And the reason for that, when they always give examples, is January 6th. So if that's your #1 terrorism threat is still January 6th and white supremacy, and if they call it their most wide-ranging investigation ever, then sure, any terrorism briefing in front of Congress should talk about January 6th. This is the #1
right,
threat.
All right, even made-up conspiracies. They should talk about, they should keep bringing it back, right? No matter how many times it gets debunked, because it's a priority, it should keep coming back.
It's an enormous use of taxpayer dollars. Not only is this their #1 investigation, but they requested $34 million extra dollars.
But see, you want to talk about funding, that's fine. You want to talk about funding, for how much funding, et cetera. Okay, it's a legitimate debate to have. Having a debate about FBI agents who are embedded with the, as an effort to make this January 6th event that much worse so that they can frame Republicans, led by the Republican Chris Wray right there, is cuckoo.
So I don't know. So there are maybe things that are debunked that, like, the FBI orchestrated it, but I don't think we actually know how many FBI agents were undercover or anything like that.
Because they don't talk about that stuff, right? I mean, the FBI doesn't talk about how many people are undercover, right?
Right. Well, just because...
Ever. But the point is, that's the beauty of just asking questions, right? We just want to know how many FBI agents. Well, we don't answer those questions ever in any context. Oh, see, they won't answer the question. Oh, that must mean, it really is like this nutty conspiracy, and the guy is there talking about the elevated risk to the country, and I just can't believe it.
Right. I would rather talk about the open southern border and how many terrorists are coming through. That is my
that is a relevant question with regard to the border and now with the elevated threat. I want to play. This is Chris Wray going back and forth with Ron Johnson when this was a separate hearing from 2 weeks ago. Same sort of issue. He's there to talk about the elevated risk. It's after the issues in the Middle East have started, and this is Ron Johnson and Chris Wray.
I see an FBI every day that conducts themselves with integrity and professionalism and selflessness and rigor. And I do not accept the characterization of our performance in this particular case.
That is not how I characterized it. I'm talking about partisanship at the top with some specific partisan actors. I said the vast majority of the 38,000 are people of integrity.
And the idea that I, as a Republican appointee and a lifelong Republican, am biased in the way that you are describing makes absolutely no sense.
It makes no sense.
So it's those questions that are trying to create an undermining of the FBI. I mean, how many times have we talked about it before, that if you want to believe that the FBI is led by this organization that's only going after the right, how do you explain a Bob Menendez? How do you explain instances of going after those on the left? I mean, we talked about it before. I don't know what's going to happen with Mayor Eric Adams, but that's a clear example of something as well. I mean,
right. But here's the only thing I will add to that is that the folks on the left pick and choose when they want to support law enforcement, right? They do. They will not support, in general, our local police departments. They generally have disdain.
About the far left.
The far left,
or like the Democratic Party.
left to far left. No, there's a lot. I mean, I'm not going to. I'll give you not left of center, but definitely. Look, Ron Johnson and Clay Higgins are not right of center either.
Right.
This is the far right of the party, right? And they are dominating in many ways the conversation. And my concern is that there are those of us who support law enforcement, support local law enforcement, support our sheriff's departments, support our troopers, and support our FBI. But I'm like a dinosaur. I'm like a unicorn, I mean. Like no one supports.
Blindly support, though?
In general, my presumption is to support. You show me evidence of wrongdoing, of course I'm going to criticize them, because anyone in law enforcement will tell you that the worst thing that can happen for law enforcement is someone who is corrupt or someone who is bad.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.